Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and when I do a video and I get more than 3 to 4 people who ask the exact same question or a really similar question, I think it's generally fair for me to go ahead and address that. And in my last training clip I did on Friday, quite a few people are like, hey, you've said in the past the lat pull down is an inferior exercise, you've talked poorly about it as far as overall the back development, things like that. And so why are you doing the lat pull down? Well, the reality is I'm doing the lat pull down because it is a slightly inferior exercise for overall back development to things like heavy barbell rows, weighted chin-ups, weighted pull-ups, the things I normally do. And the reason for that is a lot of you guys have noticed, tons of people have noticed, I've reproportioned and recompositioned dramatically in the last few months. And people who go back and look at older clips can see that. Part of the issue I have, though, is that my legs and back tend to be very dominant in my physique, and I am trying to reproportion a little better because, quite frankly, it's worth more money to me on YouTube. It's purely a financial interest. I have no interest in it outside of that other than to improve my outreach on YouTube. I'm not going to lie about that. And yeah, it is working, but part of the thing is that I'm doing the deadlift as my primary lower body exercise right now. So I'm doing it up to 3 times a week really heavy, and you guys have seen the clips, you get an idea, but it also gives me a large amount of overall back development also. So in order to keep my back development growing a little slower so that things like my biceps, triceps, delts, all of that can catch up, because that's really what I need to reproportion myself more. I'm having to back down the workload and the effectiveness of the exercises I do for some of those other body parts. So I'm sticking to my legs and back are pretty much being trained exclusively by the deadlift and the lat pull down right now. And I'm choosing the longer range of motion one by using the narrower grips because I'm trying to work those muscles through the full range of motion. I could argue, if I just wanted my back development to slow, that I could do no back exercises, but that's terrible for muscle balance and performance and joint health and things, because you can't ever let any function go. You should train every single function of your body and joint angle through its full range of motion on at least one exercise throughout the week. It's just essential for overall joint health and to keep yourself from being injured or hurt or having problems like that. So in this case, I'm choosing the lat pull down to do that because I know that in my experience I get less back development from it than other things, and it gives me time to let things like my arms and shoulders catch up a bit, which is what I'm trying to do. And for most of you guys out there, it's not the best choice because tons of guys out there, their back and things are really a weak point for them. For the majority of novice lifters, your first year or two lifters, their back development tends to be a major weak point, and so I don't recommend them do it. It's not a good idea. Get strong on weighted chin-ups, weighted pull-ups, barbell rows, and you guys have seen me do pretty heavy weighted chin-ups in the past, and so I've already kind of paid my dues there, and now I'm using an exercise that's going to probably give me a very, very minimal amount of additional back development, but it allows me to train all of those joint angles through the full range of motion to keep my shoulder girdle and everything healthy and keep my mobility where it needs to be, and nothing more, nothing less. I'm probably not going to grow very much, if at all, off of doing it, and that's not necessarily the point. And for the rest of you, though, unless you're really strong on all of those basic movements, you don't need to be throwing in fluff like that. So it's not a contradiction. It's actually the fact that it is probably an inferior exercise for that goal is the reason that I'm actually utilizing it right now. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.